Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.
Hi! We're the 6th grade class of Edgerton Middle School, home of the Bulldogs. Welcome to News 6.
Hi, I'm Jason Leppelmeyer from Edgerton Middle School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Aaron Bowers.
Today's first story takes us to visit the Edgerton Earth to look at the paper before it's published. Here is what News 6 found out.
What is black and white and red all over? It's the Edgerton Earth newspaper. What is the Edgerton Earth?
The Edgerton Earth is Edgerton's weekly newspaper. The newspaper itself is 110 years old. My husband John and I have owned it for about 18 months now, and we have a pretty good circulation throughout town. Hopefully it's read by everybody in Edgerton.
What special features does this newspaper have?
We have a special column for, for women on recipes and household hints. We have a sports column. We have an awful lot of sports stories. And we have a woman who writes feature stories about interesting events or interesting people in town.
How do you put the paper together?
We collect the news throughout the week. The news is written up into stories, and each story is set into type. And the type comes in columns. It's set in columns. And then at the end of the week, we take all the photographs in all the columns of copy, and we paste them up on large pages. Those large pages are then taken to the printer, and they photograph them, and with that photographic process, use that to print the actual newspaper.
What kind of stories do you cover?
We try to cover everything that happens in town. We cover fires and accidents. We also cover everything that goes on at school, award ceremonies, what special projects classes are doing.
Today's News 6 is produced by the 6th grade class of Edgerton Middle School. Edgerton is located about 26 miles northwest of Defiance. It was founded in 1865 and has a population of about 2,000.
Our next story will take you into the world of baseball, where all the memories of the past and the present stay with baseball card collector David Sessler. John Sessler has the story.
It's all of baseball's greats, and they're right here in David Sessler's living room. When did you start collecting baseball cards?
Approximately about 8 years ago. And the reason I started into collecting is I love sports and also as an investment. I hope it don't have to happen, but if it does, it could also be used as a college fund to send you to college.
What are some of your most expensive cards?
A Mickey Mantle, a Ricky Henderson, and a Bob Feller. Most is valuable to me is my Cleveland Indian book, and them are players back in the 1950s.
What are your most unusual cards?
My most unusual cards, I have an uncut sheet come from the factory. It's a sheet that hasn't been cut in individual cards. And also a Bo Jackson card. It's black and white, showing him lifting weights with shoulder pads.
What are the differences in cards from the past to the present?
Back in the past, a lot of your cards were black and white. Today, most of your cards are all colorful cards. A lot of them's color. Once you break that seal,
The nation is on the move, so this week's Kids View question asked the 6th graders where they would like to move to. Here's what we found out.
I'm Stacey Neihart. Today's Kids View question is, if you could live anywhere on this earth, where would it be and why?
I would live in Japan because I'd like to learn their customs.
I would like to live in Maine because of the beautiful scenery and location.
I'd like to live in Texas so I could live near my cousins.
Today's last story features the veterinarian Ned Cunningham. Crystal Owens has more details on how he treats and cares for animals that visit his clinic.
Some creatures, great and small, may someday need Buckeye Veterinary Hospital. How do you become a veterinarian?
Well, the first steps in becoming a veterinarian is college preparatory classes in your high school curriculum. After entering college, the first 2 or 3 years are spent in pre-veterinary studies. Once you entered into veterinary college, the first 2 years are primarily classroom studies, and the last 2 years are clinical studies.
What types of animals do you treat?
We make farm calls and go out and treat cattle and sheep, swine, and also have small animals like dogs and cats brought into our office. In a day's period of time, we may treat a wide variety of animals, and it may vary from a 2,000-pound bull to a little kitten that weighs a pound or two.
Could you describe a routine visit?
The farm calls can vary from just a few minutes to an hour or two. We do have some dairy herds that we do herd checks on. As far as a routine visit here in the office, we have the people come in to our examination rooms, and we prescribe medications and vaccinate the animals as needed. The small animals usually don't take very long, and we usually do those late in the afternoon.
What kind of equipment do you have?
We have a cattle chute out back that we use to process the feeder cattle. We have, my truck is loaded with all kinds of equipment to work on the animals out on the farms. As far as the animals the equipment that we have here in the office, we have a gas anesthetic machine for doing surgery, and we have many surgical instruments to do the surgery on the small animals.
That's all for this week's show. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next week when Wayne Trace Local visits News 6.
Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.